Hello, hello, welcome to Love Good Kitchen. My name is Matthew, and today I have a helper, Teddy, and we're going to make a fresh strawberry pie.
Yep,
now,
it's cake.
Yeah, this one's going to be a pie, though. Yeah. I have made this pie all year round because you can get strawberries at the store anytime. But right now, as I film this, it's June, which is peak prime strawberry season where they're particularly red and delicious. So we're going to take advantage of that. It's very simple, and it starts with making a pie crust. You have seen me make this many times before, but we're going to do it again because that's the start of this pie. So we need 2 1/4 cups of flour. We'll have to see. I might not have enough in here. I might have to refill my flour container. Okay, can help. Okay, there's 1. Now we need 1 more of these. That's 2. Now, there might be just enough. Let's get a 1/4 cup. I bet there is. We are in luck. We don't have to refill the bin. Yep, okay. Put it in. There. Set this aside. Okay, now we need a teaspoon of salt. Put that in. And then let me grab the whisk. You can help.
Yeah.
We're going to whisk that together. Just so that when our fat hits the flour mixture, when that happens, it kind of sticks things together. So if you don't have your salt spread out, you could have some little pockets where it's a little... There, that should be good. Okay, we've got 2/3 cup of vegetable oil. We're going to add that in.
Wow.
And you can use any flavorless oil. I just happen to use vegetable oil today. I wouldn't recommend something that has a stronger flavor like olive oil, but if you were doing a quiche or something savory, that actually might be really good. So I'm just stirring that in, trying to get all of the flour coated with the oil. And by that, I mean, by the time you're done mixing, and I like to use a fork, by the time you're done mixing, you don't want any white streaks of flour in there. Okay, so that's mixed in. Next, I have some ice water. We're going to put about 200 and a part tablespoon. The amount of water depends on the day, if it's humid or temperature of your kitchen, as to how much liquid the flour absorbs. So we're going to get that mixed in.
Video.
Okay, put that up here. Next, we need to tear off 2 sheets of wax paper. Because we're going to roll out our pie crust in between the wax paper. Let me grab the rolling pin.
And then roll. Because you have to roll it, or else it won't be pie. That's a big dome.
Turn that out onto the paper. And then I just roughly shape it into a disc to kind of help it get started in the shape that we want. Wipe off my hands here. And we're going to put this one on top.
I want to roll it.
You don't have to match it up exactly, but want it to be close. Otherwise, it may stick to the rolling pin if you've got some. You gotta let me do this one, okay? You can rotate your wax paper. I tend to go out from the middle. But I also know just from feel if there are some spots that are thicker than others, you want to use your rolling pin to even that out. Okay, that looks pretty good. Put this back. So I take it to the edges of the wax paper, and we're going to peel off the top layer. Then I've got my pie plate here. This one is, well, it says it's 9 inches, but maybe because of the shape of the sides, it's not tapered. It tends to be, I think, a little bigger, but it'll work nicely. Kind of put that in the middle. And then we're going to flip it over. And then I kind of pull the wax paper taut. It's easier to peel it off. Now, if you get some breakage, if some pieces break off, it's fine. It's going to work out. Don't panic. This dough is really easy and forgiving. So if you need to patch things, you can. And it works well. Nobody will be able to tell. So then we're going to ease this into the pie pan. You don't want any air bubbles, because then it'll be irregular shape or it'll be more fragile or harder to slice. We don't want that. And you want to relax it into the pan. You don't want it to be stretched, because then it'll get funky when it bakes too. Okay. I think I'm going to use my fork. It's actually pretty good. Maybe got a little extra.
Daddy, I have a tiny strawberry.
Okay, now I'm going to take the edge, and I'm either going to fold it over or sort of pat it, depending on the situation of that particular spot in the crust. And I think I'm just going to leave it sort of shaped by the fluted edge of this pie plate. But if you want to do extra fluting. Totally can. And I'm just using my fingers to kind of flatten out around the edge, the sort of, not the rim, but edge of the pie plate.
What is enough room for me?
Okay, so I've shown you this trick before, but we've got our pie crust neatly in our pie plate. This is a piece of parchment paper. I'm going to crumple it up and then undo it. And we're going to do that a couple of times. And it just makes the parchment more pliable and easier to fit into the pie plate. I think that'll be fine. So I kind of put it in the center first, and then just gently use my fingers to put it in the pie plate. I've got some dried beans here that I'm going to use today as my pie weights. That is to prevent any bubbling up while your crust is baking. This is a blind bake. That's what this is called when you bake the crust first. And it also will help the crust keep its shape as it bakes. We are going to put this in the oven. I have, yes, it's preheated. I've preheated the oven to 375, and we're going to put it in the oven and let it bake for 10 to 12 minutes, and then I'm going to take the beans out and bake it for a few more minutes without the beans so that it won't get golden brown, but it'll just help it to very gently, softly brown and firm up. All right, so 4 or 5 minutes have gone by that our crust without the pie weights was in the oven. Looks great. Now that needs to cool. So we're going to set that aside for the moment. Next step, we're going to go, I'm going to take you over to the stove so you can see better what I'm doing. I have a small saucepan, and in it I have sugar and cornstarch. I've whisked that together. We're going to add to that about a cup of water. We're going to bring that to a boil and let it gently boil for about 2 minutes. Then we're going to take it off the heat. I have some strawberry gelatin. We're going to stir into that until it's fully dissolved. And then, well, we'll talk about that when we get there. So I'm going to bring you over here. Okay, so we have those things in our pan to make sure I'm turning on the correct burner here. I think we'll start out with that. This is our water. We're going to add that in. And then we're going to whisk. Looks pretty well dissolved or combined, however we want to say it. Get out my spoon rest for my whisk. There. Okay, so while that's going, let me bring these over. You probably noticed them sitting there for the first part. We need about 4 cups of strawberries, and I think that's about 2. Oh, how big are those containers? Let's take a peek. Over here, it is a what? We don't know. Oh, yes. It says 16 ounces, one of those containers from the grocery store. It's about 2 of those. And you could do either way, but what I like to do is one of the containers, so half of the strawberries, about 2 cups, I like to slice about like that. That's what, maybe a 1/4 inch or so. And then the others, I took the stem off, but I like to leave them whole because you'll see in a little bit. What I like to do is take the sliced strawberries and put them on the bottom of the pie plate, sort of as even as I can. And then the whole strawberries, I like to set them the bottom side or the stem side down and arrange those on the top, just because I think it looks pretty. But you could do all sliced, you could do all whole, you could even chop them and do chop that way. Whatever you like. So we gotta wait for this to come to a boil. Okay, so it has come to a boil. I'm gonna turn this down and we're gonna set our timer for 2 minutes. I think I'm gonna stir this just to make sure we keep things going. And I don't know if you can see on camera, but now that it's come to a boil, we've got sort of a semi-clear, jelly-like consistency, gel, which is what we want. Okay, turn the timer off, turn the burner off. I'm going to take this off the heat, and now we're going to put in this is a 3-ounce package of strawberry gelatin. And don't worry about trying to remember this or write it down, because as usual, I will put all of the ingredients and amounts and the directions, the recipe, in the description box below the video. So I'm just stirring and whisking this in because you want all that gelatin to be fully dissolved. It's going to take a minute. All right, so you can tell already that this has made that beautiful glaze. Okay, so next, this needs to go into the refrigerator. We're going to chill it for 15 to 20 minutes. I know that they say shelves in your fridge are tempered glass. However, I'm still going to put a hot pad under here to set it in the fridge just because I want to play it safe. So we're going to pop this into the fridge for about 15 to 20 minutes and I'll bring you back. Okay, we're back, and look at how beautiful I turned out. So excited. So what I will do is I will cut up a slice so you can see what it's like, and I will serve this with some whipped cream on top, which is how we like it. And yeah, I will post the recipe down below if you'd like to try it. And let me know if you have any questions or thoughts. Do you like strawberry pie? Does this bring back memories? Does it taste like summer? I'd love to hear from you. So let me know. Give this video a thumbs up if you enjoyed making this with me today. And subscribe if you haven't. It's free and it does help out my channel. So I appreciate that and I appreciate you being here. So until next time, thanks and we'll see you later. Bye.